SMNF, this shit don't stop. Stack money, not friends, that's how we rock. No 9 to 5, no need to clock.
It's your boy, Cashmernosweater. I'm here with another reaction video. Today we finna be reacting to 7 most famous female cartel bosses. You feel me? I don't think I know any female cartel boss. So we finna see what it's talking about, you feel me? We finna see if they like that, and I feel like they are. I feel like if you're in a cartel, you're automatically this, you feel me? But y'all like, subscribe, and let's get straight to it. We're finna start the screen recording in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
What a man can do, a woman can do better. Does that apply to drug lords as well? Well, when you're done with this video, you tell me. Today, we're taking a look at the 5 most dangerous female narcos in the world. And believe me when I tell you, these ladies are not to be trifled with. Let us start from the bottom. Number 7, Donna Letty. Not much is known about the background of Donna Letty, whose real name is Leticia Rodriguez Lara. But what everyone knows is that she is one of the few women who waged war on an entire cartel and lived to tell the tale. Originally from the state of Veracruz, Mexico.
She waged war on a whole cartel and still alive? And this is the first person they're showing? Yo, this finna get wicked. Dang, this finna get wicked, no cap.
Letty grew up in and around crime. By the time she came of age, she had grown to become the main trafficker in southern Mexico. Her rivals called her the Queen of Riviera Maya, based on the region she controlled. Surprisingly, before she became a trafficker, Donna was a cop, a member of the Federal Judicial Police, which she left to join El Chapo's Sinaloa cartel. And El Chapo immediately grew fond of her, because unlike his other male lieutenants who had a sense of self-preservation, Donna Letty was willing to stroll into the battlefield with nothing but a machine gun. That is a figure of speech, mind you. But everyone that knew her said she was crazy in the head.
Is that her? Bro, she got 2 big ass sticks like these. 2 big ass sticks. Yeah, but I wouldn't fuck with anybody holding 2 big ass sticks like those, you feel me?
And she proved them right when she turned on El Chapo and worked violently to establish herself as the head of the rival Gulf cartel. Donna Letty wasn't scared of anyone, not even the diabolically notorious Los Zetas cartel that was famous for chopping up their victims and feasting on them. She single-handedly pulled the cartel down, and even though she has long been arrested, many in Mexico still speak of her in fear and admiration. Number 6, Angie Saclemente Valencia. When Angie Saclemente Valencia was arrested in 2010 on drug trafficking charges, not many people were surprised. But what surprised most of us was how she got to making tens of millions of dollars from the white powdery substance. Born in Colombia, Angie was a beauty queen who won a competition in 2000 that she lost 2 days later when it was discovered that she had broken the rules. She was married. Her husband in question was a Mexican.
So you can't be married in a beauty contest or something? Like what, bro? Yo, some rules just don't making sense to me. Like what? I didn't even. That was just random.
Drug baron whom she helped to build a small drug cartel that bothered no one but brought the bread home. However, it wasn't enough for her, and soon she split from the man and decided to form her own cartel that was made up of only beautiful models whom she described as her unsuspicious beautiful angels. She would pay them as much as $5,000 to smuggle cocaine from Argentina to the UK. This continued for years until the 13th of December 2009, when one of her unsuspecting angels was caught with a suitcase containing 121 pounds of cocaine.
Jesus.
This drug mule wasn't exactly bright, and it didn't take long for the feds to get the truth out of her.
Bro, I wonder how the heck, like, they just be getting into this, like, bro, everybody's lives is just so different, like, these niggas are really cartel members. Like, they really in that field for real, like, and this is
Eventually,
the woman.
Valencia was arrested and jailed on the 27th of May 2010. She spent 3 years in prison and was released in 2013 after the Argentinian government banned her from returning to their country. Number 5, Jemica Thompson. Jemica was dubbed the Queen Pin during the height of the
Bro, a black lady in a cartel? She gotta be like that.
1980s crack
All
epidemic,
of them are like
when
that,
she
man.
rose to the top of the Los Angeles cocaine trade. She was kicked out of her home at a young age and had to find a way to support herself. This forced her to strike a partnership with Anthony M. Daff Mosley, an older man who ran a lucrative cocaine trafficking business. That partnership turned into marriage, and they had a son together. However, Mosley would be murdered in a drive-by shooting that left Thompson devastated.
Damn.
But being the tough-as-nails woman she was, Jemica got on her feet, took over her husband's cocaine business, expanding it across the United States. States, while also investing in an LA-based hair business that sold products to celebs. You gotta love a multifaceted queen. For a time, she dated a man nicknamed...
Like, nah, that's hustling right there. Y'all can't cap. This is probably way harder than it seems, you feel me? Like, everything leading up to get where they be at, like the boss level, you feel me? Like, you gotta be a hustler. I feel like if anybody could hustle in the drug business, they can hustle legally. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if they could use the shit that they know the right way, they'll be straight regardless. I just don't understand.
Cheese. When they broke up, he ratted her out to the authorities. I mean, what was she expecting from a man named Cheese? Anyway, Jemica spent the next 2 years of her life on the run. But in 1993, when her son's 6th grade graduation ceremony was set to take place, Jemica came home to support her son. The police... Anyway,
Jemica like that?
Spent the next 2 years of her life on the run. But in 1993, when her son's 6th grade graduation ceremony was set to take place, Jemica came home to support her son. The police, however, were waiting for her at the ceremony and had her arrested. The Queenpin served time in a maximum security prison until 2005. She is, however, an evangelical minister now at Second Chance Ministries in South Central Los Angeles. Number 4. Clara Elena Laborin, La Señora. Clara Elena Laborin was a former beauty queen from Sonora State. She married Hector Beltran Leyva, El Chapo's former partner in the Sinaloa cartel. Clara is known as La Señora, or the Mrs., because her husband treated her like a trophy bride. When Beltran Leyva broke with El Chapo in 2008, Clara was enlisted to direct the money laundering component of her husband's cartel. In 2010, she was kidnapped by a rival group and photographed in captivity, blindfolded with her feet and hands bound, and automatic rifles pointed at her. After 13 days, she was released.
Bro, people really be going through, like, these cartel members, they really be going through the shit I see on Netflix. Like, she was literally just kidnapped with guns aiming at her, just taunting, like, they was just taunting the other cartel. Like, this shit really be happening. Shit like this really be going on.
Returned to manage the cartel's finances. 4 years later, when her husband was arrested, Laborin became the head of the cartel, and she launched one of the bloodiest waves of violence in Acapulco to establish herself as boss. Her time at the top was a brutal campaign for dominance that turned the resort city into Mexico's murder capital. Tourists were caught in the crossfire and forced to step over bullet-riddled bodies on beaches as the Beltran Leyva cartel, then governed by Laborin, fought their rivals in the independent cartel of Acapulco. She got arrested by the authorities sometime in 2016. However, Laborin said she was no longer part of the cartel, a convenient thing to say after all the atrocities she had committed. Number 3. Enadina Arellano Felix. Enadina Arellano Felix, a distant relative of Sandra Avila Beltran, is considered by the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, to be the world's first female drug lord. I can't tell what the DEA used to come to that conclusion, but she, however, comes third on this list. As a girl, Enadina wanted to become the queen of a carnival in Mazatlan, but because of her family's drug trafficking activities, those dreams were never realized. And when I say family, I mean everyone in her family was into drugs. They all came together to create the infamous Tijuana cartel. In the beginning, Enadina worked for the cartel behind the scenes as a money launderer. During this time, she also pursued a degree, graduating with a bachelor's degree in accounting from a private university in Guadalajara. Meanwhile, her brother ran the Tijuana cartel with bloodshed and violence. And, unsurprisingly, the feds came for them one by one, either killing or imprisoning them. In 2008, Enadina was forced to take over leadership of the cartel when her brother, Eduardo Arellano Felix, was arrested by the cops. Under her, Tijuana went from a bloody cartel to a criminal business venture. She formed alliances with other cartels, cooperated with corrupt government bodies, and went international. She is currently a fugitive.
That's one thing I also, wonder, bro, how many corrupt cops and governors and all that shit there is? You feel what I'm saying? I feel like I don't even see the point of, people even, the cops trying to fight the cartel, because I know there's people in, on the cop side, on the government side, that's letting that shit happen, if you feel what I'm saying. So, this world is
respected in the criminal underworld as the shadowy, business-savvy matriarch of the Tijuana cartel. Number 2. Sandra Avila Beltran. The Queen of the Pacific was what everyone called her. A popular ballad was written about
Queen
her
of the South lady. What the fuck?
By the band Los Tigres del Norte in 2004, and she was the inspiration for the Mexican telenovela La Reina del Sur, Queen of the South.
I told you.
In the narcotic underground, Sandra Avila Beltran is a legend. And it is mostly because of her pioneering spirit. She famously thought up the genius idea of smuggling tons of cocaine through a fleet of tuna boats that went undetected for years. Born in Baja California, Mexico, Avia Beltran is a third-generation drug trafficker, and her family has ties to powerful kingpins. She also has her own ties, having dated several capos and marrying 2 law enforcement officers who later joined the cartel. Her first husband was killed in a shootout, and her second was stabbed through the heart, both during Mexican drug wars. At her arrest in 2007, 30 Mexican federal agents swarmed an upscale Mexico City diner where she was sipping coffee. Before they led her away, she convinced them to allow her to touch up her makeup so that she could look good in her mugshot. In the arrest video, she can be seen flicking back her hair and smiling for the camera. Even after pleading guilty, Avia found the spotlight hard to resist.
How do you got, bro? They caught her and she convinced them to let her do her makeup, like, for a mugshot. Bro, y'all notice how her husband's was cops as well? Like, bro, these Netflix shows, bro, they be spot on, bro. They be trying to fuck with the cops so they can get the cops on their side. And it's really what they be doing. That's just crazy.
Judge at one of her first hearings in a Mexican courtroom, it's nice to be called a queen. Avia was released in 2015, and currently she leads a quiet life
she's out
in
of jail?
Guadalajara. Number 1, Griselda Blanco. The woman on the top of our list ran the world's deadliest cartels and is ranked on the same criminal pedestal along with Pablo Escobar, Frank Lucas, and other narcotics legends. Griselda Blanco was a Colombian drug lord in the Medellin cartel that went by many names: La Madrina, Black Widow, Cocaine Godmother. From her Miami-based cocaine drug trade, Griselda transported narcotics to New York and Southern California from the 1970s to the early 2000s. Crime had been the big picture for Griselda from the very beginning. At just 11 years old, Blanco allegedly kidnapped and attempted to ransom a child from an upscale neighborhood in Colombia, whom she eventually killed when the parents did not take her seriously. This penchant for violence was carried into Miami, where she was based, and it devolved into a full-on drug war, known as the Cocaine Cowboy Wars. In the 80s, Blanco painted Miami white and red, white with cocaine and red with the blood of her drug rivals. Her favorite method involved drive-by shootings via motorcycle. Blanco instigated anywhere between 40 to 250 murders, including a few personal ones.
Drive-by shootings on the motorcycle? You know how scary of a female you gotta be to have niggas working for you, bro? Like, cause I know how niggas are, let's be real. Niggas is not listening to no fee. So, you gotta be a tough motherfucking girl to be running a cartel at that, full of niggas. You feel what I'm saying?
She shot one of her husbands to death over a drug deal. At its peak, Blanco's US distribution network brought in a monthly $80 million. But in 1985, she was arrested and imprisoned. 20 years later, she was released from prison and deported to Colombia, where she met her grisly end at the hands of an assassin on a motorcycle.
Wow. Unbelievable. But it's your boy, Cashmernosweater. Y'all like and subscribe, you feel what I'm saying? And yeah, these women are crazy. These women are crazy, bro. But they gotta be like that to control and be a boss at the cartel level, you feel what I'm saying? So respect them. And like I said, the fucking cops and shit. Oh yeah, original video gonna be in my description, by the way. Y'all like and subscribe, you feel me? Like and subscribe over here, and like and subscribe over there. But yeah, and the motherfucking cops, bro, how they be letting them motherfuckers out of jail. That's how you know. Some of this shit, they be wanting this shit to happen, bro. They be wanting that junk to happen. They be letting them out of jail like a get out of jail free card after like they just orchestrated 250 murders like that girl. And all types of other shit they probably don't even know about, and they just be letting them go. But shit, it is what it is. Fuck 12. Hey, it's your boy Cashmernosweater, and I'm out.
We spot him, we got him, we shot him and trap it. That nigga is pussy, he don't wanna study. Nigga see the gang and started a panic. Fucked on that Kelly, bitch, I full of plastic. I need me a bitch who just gon' keep it classy. Stun on y'all niggas can't have it. Stacking my money, should've been on that Maverick.